Today we are going to talk about the Tower, which is one of the most feared card of the tarot, but in my opinion is one of the energy that brings also a lot of blessings. Yes, it is a card that brings destruction, chaos, tragedy, violence, turbulence, calamity, confusion, and sudden change. But it's also a card of release, of liberation, of enlightenment, transformation, and ultimately a card of true freedom. The Tower energy is felt when the environment around us, our life, is chaotic, becomes chaotic, or our minds too is chaotic and messy. And the only way we can move through that messiness, through that chaos, is through it, not avoiding it. So when we meet the messiness and chaos of the Tower, we cannot fix it, we cannot change it, we have to really move through it and leave it, let it teach the lessons we need to teach, or give us the guidance we need to have. So when it's happening, we don't like it. But once we begin to understand the why, when we understand how to move through it and where it is bringing us, we feel gratitude, On the other side of the Tower, there is such a sense of gratitude and relief. And we realize, most of all, that we are not anymore the same person we were when the Tower started. And we will never be, never again. So for me, the Tower symbolically is also a place where we go hiding from something we want to avoid, something we don't like facing. So over time, that place of hiding becomes a very rigid structure where we no longer allow a different opinion, a different idea, or deeper insights. We are not anymore connected also with our own instinct and intuition. And so the event that shakes the Tower forces us to face whatever we were avoiding, whatever we were resisting. And it pushes us to deal with it and to let go of what no longer serves us, to align ourselves with a better version of who we are, and also a healthier way of living. At first, it seems that everything is falling apart, right? That destruction is blocking us, all the crumbling is blocking our path, right? But what we think is blocking our path is just moving us forward, choosing a different path. So when we see the crumbling of the Tower in front of us, of course symbolically, but sometimes also literally, we don't want to stay there looking at it thinking that it's the end of the story, the end of us, the end of, whatever. But we have to look around, we have to be able to look around, we have to have the curiosity and the courage to look around and see where is the other path, because there is another path. That path that is blocked, it wasn't the right one. That's why the Tower happened, because that path wasn't yours. And since you weren't, maybe the universe sent you signs and you didn't listen, and so bang, the Tower, and this kind of huge crumbling. And so where is the other path? You have to look where is the other path. What else? yeah, it's just like that the old structure had to crumble for us to be able to choose a path, to choose a life that we are meant to build and live. So the only question is, can we pay attention? Can we not fall into the fear, into the anxiety? Because the tower can create a lot of anxiety, and pay attention and be courageous to see where is the other path and to walk it, right? I have two personal stories to tell you at the end that, will help you to understand what I mean for tower, what is tower for me. Okay. Oh, yeah. Another thing that we often think that the tower is something that happens to us, something external, something that, the universe sent us, and that's it. But we can create the tower with our own choices. For example, when we start a fight with someone that brings to a breakup, or when we decide to end a relationship or a marriage, we can create a tower not only for us, but also for the other person. And so sometimes the tower arrives because life intervenes, right? The universe intervenes and says, okay, enough is enough. But other times it arrives because you or we finally choose the truth over what is familiar, over comfort. We choose to see what is there instead of stick with our illusions and the facade, right? And so when we finally see the truth, that truth destroys something we believed in so deeply. And when we see it, we can no longer not to see. We see it and that's it. We cannot unsee. So the illusion, as I said, falls apart. The facade crumbles, and everything we built, our identity or our relationship or our life or our expectations, collapses. And it is brutal. Tower moments are not good. Are good. They have some good in them, but are brutal. And they have to be brutal. Because if it weren't brutal, most of us would never wake up. We never awaken to that truth or to that change of life or everything we need to transform in our life. We would keep repeating the same life, the same mistakes, the same patterns, and convincing ourselves that probably everything is fine. Everything is fine, right? Every time one thing about the tower that I think, for me personally, but I think the tower has a lot of spirituality in it. Every time I encountered the tower, I felt a strong connection with something greater than myself. Like with this higher power that was reminding me that was necessary. Maybe not in the moment, especially in the beginning of the tower, it just feels bad and brutal. But after a few moments, I feel this connection with I know that I am guided. I know that what's happening, it's not against me, it is the universe working for me. There is this strange kind of faith inside the tower, of trust. Somewhere beneath the fear, beneath the anxiety, there is this knowing that something bigger is unfolding, something that we are meant to live. Maybe a love we deserve, a life we truly deserve. And that moment, the tower moment, become a catalyst for change and transformation, a powerful one. And finally, sometimes the tower is just a final straw that breaks the camel's back. So maybe you have been fighting with your partner a lot, you know, and that fight is not different from the other one. Partner or colleagues, you know, it's an example. It's not just about fighting. It's an example. But there is a fight that there is maybe not different from another one, but that fire breaks something forever. It breaks something. It breaks the relationship. It breaks the collaboration. It breaks something, you know. And it's not that something changed, right? Things were already like that, but you changed. You cannot tolerate anymore something that you were able to tolerate in the past. So just for you to know that the tower doesn't destroy your life, yourself, your relationships. Whatever falls apart, it's meant to fall apart. Again, as I told you, I've experienced the tower several times in my life. And again, the tower can be light, can be deep, can be strong, there are different levels of light. Also, when you're doing a reading, just try to see what are the cards around it and what is also the imagery in the tarot you get, to understand, you know, the intensity, right? Sometimes you can get the intensity looking at also at the other cards, also oracle card, the cards around it. And so I experienced this card like everybody different times in my life, but 3 times are the one I can really say that was a tower moment. They were like the dramatic one, the deepest one, the most brutal one were 3. And the first one I'm not going to share because not. But the second one is when I got sick years ago when I was 30. I got very sick and the doctors didn't know what I had. I did so many tests and they couldn't help me. And so one day, and it wasn't just a tower moment for me, that sickness for me was me being a tower. My systems in the body, the nervous system, the reproductive system, the digestive systems, all the systems in my body were collapsing. And I thought I was, I thought I didn't have a long time to live, to be honest. But one day, and that's when I say there is a guidance in the tower, always. There is always this presence, this higher power. One day I fainted. I was alone in the house and I woke up in the bed. Now, I don't know how I went to the bed. Of course, I did it, but I don't remember. So I think I was supported by something more powerful. And I woke up with informations that I didn't have before. And it was so clear. I didn't know even why. I woke up. As soon as I woke up, I went on my computer, like straight. Like I knew, like someone, when I was like fainted, whatever, passed out, someone whispered what to do, you know? I woke up, I went on my computer, I searched for a school of natural therapy to become a natural therapist. I searched, I enrolled, and that's it. That's how my journey started to become who I am now. It was incredible. It was like me really experiencing this energy and moving through it and having the guidance I needed and the curiosity I needed to move forward, to choose another path, most powerful. And because of that, since I was born, I've always been sick, like a sick girl, like strong headaches, like more since I was a teenager, more than once a week, very bad, sometimes every day, gut issues, arthritis. I was really always sick. And that sickness that happened when I was 30 was just like the peak of years and years of being sick. And because of that decision I that moment of waking up and choosing a different path, I was able to understand also after a few years what was my enemy, what was my issue, and to be as healthier as the healthiest I've been in all my life. I'm changed, I'm transformed forever. The second one is when I had to deal with a narcissist. Now, I grew up with a narcissistic father, so I know what is a narcissist. And I met people that are selfish. Myself, I can be selfish. We all have this side of us that try to protect, right? So I'm not using the narcissistic word lightly. I can't believe that I had to do like that with him. I say it because with him for 3 years, on and off, right? And one time he did something and he said something that wasn't different from what he said in the past, right? But I changed. I wasn't anymore able to tolerate. I saw who he was, and I couldn't unsee it. And it was painful. It was like brutal. For 1 week after I realized who he was, after I saw him, I couldn't eat. I cried. I was really, for 1 week, I was really, really bad. But then after that, I woke up one morning and that illusion of him being the love of my life, of us building something, whatever was my illusions, they were gone forever. They didn't come, and that attraction was gone forever. And so yes, it was very painful, but it was also the beginning of my healing, because I was able also to heal my, father issues. So I'm incredibly grateful for all the towers in my life, because they gave me a new perspective, and they gave me a new my freedom back. They gave me liberation and freedom, and it was a release. And even if they were brutal, they were precious for me. And if I have to go back to experience that again, I would do it. Probably with the narcissistic one, I would waste less time. But still, it is what it is. I needed to have that experience. I needed that. I needed that 3 years of hell to understand that I was able to heal from something bigger than that relationship. Okay, I think that's it. I think, the imaginary, because I want to explain you a little bit about imagery. First, it's very important, especially for certain cards, or for all cards of the tarot, what you have around. When you do a certain cross, when you pull even just 3 cards, understand what you have around. Understanding what you have around can tell you if this tower is in the shadow, because if it's in the shadow, there is kind of resistance, the resistance. You don't want to see something, you want to avoid something, you don't want to experience the tower moment. You can see from the other cards. But also, sometimes you can see these two one are dark, you see really the dark. They can be very deep, they can, and they can, from the lighting, right, you can say that this is not, it comes from something higher than you, and also you can't avoid it. You can't avoid the lighting. Also the people falling, this can be your old beliefs, can be, if it's you, the tower, it's you, can be your old beliefs. And if the tower is an event, this can be, you and your partner falling from this relationship, stuff like that. But this one instead, it's a tower that is kind of lighter, see? It asks you to look at the beauty. It's a tower where you can already, for me, for example, can be the moment where I woke up and I knew what to do to change my life, or can be also the universe telling you, okay, look at the positive, look at the beauty in your life. There is so much beauty, and this tower is just like you know, an event that will bring you more beauty. So this is a nice tower because it really brings you to a more positive mindset right away. Instead, this one, it tells you like how, you know, the heaviness of the tower. This one, it tells you a little bit the lighter side of the tower. It's the after tower, let's say that, the why the tower is here, and you're gonna be okay. Okay, I'm done. It's a long video. Yeah, like, subscribe, or comment, you know, your what was the tower moment for you, and how did you move through it? Did you see the other path, or you still working to look for the other path? Yeah, tell me something about you. And also, if you want to book a tarot reading for me, in the description there is a link that will bring you at the page where you can book a reading with me. That's it. And now I'm gonna push the right button. Bye.